Welcome back to another episode of Inside of Her C-Suite. I'm Timothy Maurice. You can follow me at Timothy Maurice on Twitter. We're about to go inside of the C-Suite of an extraordinary leader who has a completely different style. Her name is Mellony Ramalho at African Bank. Hi, Mellony.
Hello, Timothy. Welcome.
Thank you so much for allowing us inside of this wonderful C-Suite.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's nice to have you here at African Bank.
You know, when I think back about the first time I met you up to now, you've taken some serious risk. And they've paid off to get to this point.
Absolutely.
What gives you the courage to take those risks?
It's tenacity, passion, and following the purpose that I believe I have for my own life and the goals that I've put together as an individual and as a female in business. And I'm passionate about business and the corporate world. So after meeting with the group CEO at African Bank, and he told me what they stand for, where they're going, what the culture that they're embedding into the organization, because it's a new, as you know, African Bank relaunched itself in April of last year, and the values just touched me because it's a people's bank. We know it as the people's bank. We give back to people, we give them what others don't necessarily would give to them, and we put the people first, our staff, our customers, and it resonated with what I want to do in this country, in my life, and in the purpose I'm driving towards, educating and uplifting individuals in the country.
How do you remain being a woman and at the same time command the respect that you have on this team?
It's by being true to myself, being a female, and also I'm very passionate about showing that females does have a place in the corporate world, and they can add so much value besides the emotional understanding. They can add the IQ that you need from a business perspective, and because they're intuitive, they can see things quicker, faster, and build a strategy and implementation from a holistic perspective. And also working with my colleagues, it's been amazing because we are in an industry where females are welcomed now and developed into it. I'm accepted into it. I'm accepted to give the female part of what we need to do, but balance it with understanding where we are in the financial industry and what that means for us. So, and that's what I do. I don't lose my femininity. I love being a woman, and I love bringing that aspect to African Bank.
How many people do you have on your team?
So I look after, we've got about 65 staff members, and I've got about 5 managers, and there's females mostly, and some males as well, but most of my team consists of females. Let's
go have a look at some of them.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So your eye for talent, how do you develop your eye for talent to look, was there a point in your career where you start trusting your gut? What was it?
Absolutely. Intuition and gut plays a big role in a female's world, and I've tested it through my experience, and it's always served me well. And also just understanding and looking at people's body language, where they come from, how they react to certain situations. For me, EQ plays a big part of who you are, where you're going, and what you want to do, and how you apply that on a daily basis in your work as well as at home.
Do you get it wrong sometimes? And if you do, what have you learned about getting it wrong?
It's by learning from what went wrong, understanding what that was, and then keeping that in mind when you look at the next candidate. What didn't you ask, or what didn't you know about the person or the candidate's life for that matter, that caused them to leave or not perform in their current role.
What's a key question to help you know whether or not someone is a quality person that you want to work with?
Key question for me is, why are you applying for the post? Why are you in the industry? And what's your passion? What do you love doing?
So how they respond to those questions helps you big time.
Absolutely. It helps me to understand where they're coming from, what is their outlook, their future outlook in life, and it's not just about here and now, and that it's about a bigger picture, because you need to know that the person's got a goal that they're working towards, or their experience also tells you a lot of where they are and what they want to do and how they reflect upon their own personal goals.
Got it.
Yeah.
So before you became sort of an exec, What are a couple of things that you wish you had known back then?
Is that education is more important when you to upskill yourself all the time. Not just to accept that you've got one certificate, diploma or degree, but to constantly upskill yourself from an emotional intelligence perspective, because when I started working, that was people didn't ask those questions. And as time grew and I grew in the corporate world, I understood that you have to update and increase your EQ, your emotional understanding, constantly
short
updating.
Courses, anything.
Reading, a lot of knowledge of the industry you're in, the people you work with. You need to know who you work with. You need to ask certain questions, and that's what helped me along my journey.
And thinking about your history in in this type of work, how do you know it's a good fit for you? I know there's a lot of people who struggle with trying to figure out whether or not, insurance or marketing or PR is the right fit for them. Like, how do you know that this insurance space was the right space for you?
Because I have the experience,
okay.
So I have the knowledge.
Skills, knowledge,
experience. Knowledge, and I can make a difference. And I can add what I've learned into the environment and have it at a very powerful position to influence others, to make the right decisions and to impart my knowledge that I've learned from my past experience. But insurance is a very exciting environment to be in. I love regulation. I love understanding what it means for the organization. I love unpacking that. I love the compliance world and also where we're moving towards from a Twin Peaks perspective in our country, very much mirroring the UK environment. I also understand business well. I knew it's a fit for me because insurance fits into people's lives and helping them to understand where they're going with it, how they need to protect themselves now for a future event. So it's an emotive product. It's not a product you buy off the shelf. And that's what intrigues me all the time, to get people to understand why they should have it, what does it mean for them and their family. It's not a selfish product, and in our country we have got so much to offer a customer at every spectrum, and that's what we're striving towards as well.
Being in this sort of highly impactful, high pressure space, I know leading at the top in family and work is important. How do you find that balance?
Truthfully, I balance it through my spiritual life, making sure that's at the center of the two, and applying and prioritizing, setting a goal for the week, for the day, every night to make sure I attend to my husband, my children, and extended family, and then also making sure I attend to what I need to do at work, and balancing myself, because you also have me time. To look after yourself and to make sure you don't burn out, because you have both.
Yeah. But there must be moments when there is an event for your child and a high-power meeting. What do you do? How do you manage the communication one way or the other?
Well, because I am fortunate to have a husband, and we are really one unit in the household. He always goes to that event. Unless if it's like a matric dance, I will never miss that. And my kids are not there yet, but they will be this year. I will definitely be at my child's event. It also depends on what type of event it is. And I would put that first before I put work. And I'm in a very understanding organization where we balance that. So we make sure that the people that work here have that balance and that freedom to ask, I can't be at this very powerful meeting or this meeting that needs my decision, would you take that? And we transfer the mandate. And because we're multi-skilled in the organization, we can do that so that the organization doesn't suffer because you can't be there.
Take us through quickly your vision for the bank, for talent. What do you see happening next by 2030? What will be happening here?
Wow, very exciting in the sense that we will be a fully fledged bank offering all types of products to everyone in South Africa, making a good marginal profit, not exorbitant profits, but making sure that what we do here actually benefits and adds value to the customer. So our vision is to do humanity through banking. meaning we want to give back to the individual, but also make sure we create a sustainable financial industry. And that balance not everybody has found in our industry, and to be part of this and look back and look forward and then look back when we're there, it's going to be amazing just knowing we've actually given banking to people who couldn't always afford it and made it sustainable for them and their family and their extended family, and we have given them a holistic financial proposition, not just banking, but including insurance, including investment, including health, and making sure lifestyle rewards is part of that by knowing our customer. So it's balancing the two.
Sure.
That is quite a challenge. It's not easy, but certainly I believe we can do it, and it's exciting working for an agile organization that's using technology to get us there, because that's the future.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your style. I appreciate the fact that you know who you are, you own your femininity, as well as your power and your strength. So thanks for allowing us inside of your C-suite. Well, that was Mellony Ramalho, Group Executive of African Bank. What an extraordinary leadership style, a very refreshing look at leadership across this continent. Join us next week as we go inside of the C-suite of another African executive.